So today, guys, we are going to be ranking all of the FNAF games, and it is going to be completely up to you guys. I am going to just, run a poll, and you guys are going to decide who's in each place. So we're going to go through each game individually. There are 2 games that I didn't include. The 2 games that I didn't include in this are Special Delivery and any of the Freddy in Space games. We're starting with FNAF 1. So where does FNAF 1 go in your guys' opinion? Right now we are voting for Five Nights at Freddy's 1. This is the first game. It started it all. If I were doing this, I would put it in B tier just because it's not super replayable. It gets old pretty fast in my opinion. I love it for like the nostalgia aspect of it, but I still feel like I would put it in B personally. So right now it says that we have 46% voting for A tier and 39% voting for S tier, and B has 14% and F has 2%. 2% of people are voting F for this. I'm interested. I said F by accident. Oh no, you can't take back your vote. Your votes are final. Votes are final. FNAF 1 S, let's go. Oh my gosh. I feel like you guys are gonna put everything on S. You guys have to be judgmental of some of these games, I swear to God. I voted S because I like how they show hints of lore with Easter eggs, and I like the gameplay. Fair enough. You know what? Everybody's welcome to their opinions here. This is what I want to say, guys. This is a safe space for FNAF fans, okay? This isn't Twitter. We're not gonna argue about it. I'm ending the poll, which means it's going in S tier. All right, guys, now we are voting for FNAF 2. Place your votes. Wherever it goes, I won't be upset, okay? I won't be upset. You guys know that FNAF 2 is my least favorite FNAF game, but I won't be upset if you rank it highly. I know there are a lot of people that love FNAF 2. It's so annoying when Foxy comes and goes unexpectedly. There is a lot of randomness to Foxy in this game, I will say. You have to be pretty lucky. FNAF 2 goes to S, respect for all FNAF games. See, we can still respect the game while voting it accurately, you know? You know what I mean? Wait, who won? B tier won. Okay. Into B tier, FNAF 2 goes. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. So now we're on to FNAF 3. FNAF 3 is such a meh game, in my opinion. Like, I don't really hate it. I know a lot of people strongly dislike FNAF 3. For me, FNAF 3 is just kind of like a, like one of those type of games where you're just like, meh. I don't think I've ever met somebody who said FNAF 3 was their favorite. Is there anybody in the chat right now who thinks FNAF 3 is the best game? Is anybody voting S? Let me look at the results right now. So far the results have 36% for B tier, 32% for C tier, which is supposed to be F tier. I just messed up and wrote the wrong thing on the poll. 23% for A tier and 10% for S tier. So far B is winning, which I guess makes sense. I kind of see it. FNAF 3 is boring, to be honest. Yeah, I kind of find that too. I'm not a huge Springtrap fan in general either. Like, and I know that's blasphemous to say it, as a FNAF fan, but my ex-BFF's favorite game is FNAF 3. Well, I guess some people like it. The jump scares suck. Yeah, I could agree with that. Yeah, I mean, sometimes the phantoms get you. If you know how to play FNAF 3, it's easy. Yeah, it's harder for sure on console, but I think on PC, pretty simple. Pretty easy to get the hang of it, at least. I do not like Springtrap. See, you and me are on the same page, Amazing Nora. I don't like hate him. I'm just like, I'm kind of bored of him, I guess, at this point. Putting in B tier for boring, exactly. I voted F because I don't really know much about FNAF 3 and it doesn't look that good. I mean, I can agree with that opinion, yeah. All right, guys, we have been voting for 5 minutes and it looks like B tier is the winner. It has more votes for F tier as well. So the two top votes are B and F, so I'm gonna put it after FNAF 2, so it's worse than FNAF 2, but it is still in the B tier. We are on to FNAF 4 now, and FNAF 4, if you guys have been watching me for a while, you guys already know FNAF 4 is my favorite FNAF game out of all of them. I love FNAF 4 so freaking much. I love the jump scares. I think it is genuinely probably also one of the scariest FNAF games. I love the design of the animatronics. I love the layout of the room, you know, the change up that we got from the first 3 games to the 4th one, like, love it so much. Love it so much. I understand if not everybody agrees with me. I understand if you guys vote it lower. I know that some people find it more difficult. It is very audio dependent, you know, you gotta be able to hear the game, you gotta play with headphones. It can be tricky for some people, definitely. But that being said, I still think it's iconic, and I love it so much. FNAF 4 is my favorite game. You and me both, Mateo. FNAF 4 is the only game that we can force Foxy to be a baby. So, what does that tell you? I do not like FNAF because my headphones are bad. Yeah, you're gonna have a hard time with this game if you don't have good headphones. That's definitely a fact. It's actually scary for once. I'll be honest, FNAF 1, 2, and 3, when I first played them, absolutely scared my pants off, you know? I was terrified. Is that an expression? What am I talking about? Anyways, moving on. I can see the jump scares coming a lot more nowadays than I did the first time I played them. But FNAF 4 is still one of the ones that consistently can get me with the jump scares because you think you're safe. You're listening to it, you don't hear the breathing, and you're like, oh, I think I'm safe. I'm gonna turn on my flashlight to check. And then boom, they got you. It's that feeling of, oh, I'm safe, and then immediately not being safe. It's like pulling the rug out from under you. It is crazy. I love it. Love it. Justice for FNAF 2. Hey, y'all voted this. Y'all voted this, okay? Don't y'all be forgetting that it is not me who is making this tier list. It is you. If you disagree, that's on you. It is on all of you as a collective. You have the power to change these things. All right, guys, we are at 5 minutes. And FNAF 4 is at 54% S tier. I think that's the highest we've gotten so far. That is the most you guys have agreed on a on a placement. And then A tier was voted at 28%, 10% for B tier, and 7% for F tier. Who voted F tier? Who did it? All right, so we are going to move it into S tier since it has an overwhelming majority voting for S tier. I'm gonna put it ahead of FNAF 1 because FNAF 1 was pretty neck and neck with A. So we'll probably have, since these two are closer, we'll have this one closer to A tier and then this one closer to S tier. All right. Now you guys are voting for FNAF World, and right off the bat, just the F meter just went full. That was crazy. So yeah, we are on to FNAF World. Honestly, FNAF World, not one of my favorite games. Not one of my favorite games. It's not my style of gameplay. It's not the type of game I personally would seek out, you know? I'm not a fan of, like, turn-based combat type of, like, these type of adventure games, I guess. Anything like this is not something that I typically gravitate towards. It does seem like a game that Jacob would get a lot of enjoyment out of it, so maybe someday I can convince him to play it on stream here. If you guys are interested in that, let me know. But, I do know a lot of people think that FNAF World is underrated. The people that do enjoy these types of games do really enjoy this game, and I think that it does a good job for what it is. While I personally, just in my own personal opinion, would put it in F tier, that's, you know, that doesn't mean it's a bad game. That just means me personally, I'm not a fan of that style. You know what I mean? It's not that bad. It's a little like Pokemon, just FNAF. See, Noah, that's why I think my boyfriend would really like it, because he's a big Pokemon fan. I have so much nostalgia for FNAF World. It's too hard, though. I can only watch people play it. Interesting. I've heard people say that it's an easy game. I guess I watch a lot of people who play it do, you know, challenges and stuff like that for it. Like Biohazard King always does FNAF World videos with, like, themed challenges and stuff like that. And I always think that that's a more fun way to play it. But yeah, I could never do that. That's not me. FNAF World is the hardest FNAF game? You think so? I guess I have never finished it to really know for sure. Where do we put FNAF World? It looks like 35% of people have voted for it to be in F tier, 22% voted for B, 19% voted for A, and 24% voted for S. It's interesting that it was F and S that had the most amount of votes. Like, people either love it or they hate it. So that's really interesting. But sadly, it is going in F. It is going in F. I know some people are going to be upset about that. Now we're on to Sister Location. Five Nights at Freddy's Sister Location obviously has my favorite character of all time, Circus Baby, in it. If you had asked me a few months ago where I would put Sister Location, I would have put it really low. I would have put it at B or F, like the high end of F maybe, because I'll be real with you, I was not a huge fan of Sister Location the first time I played it. And today I would put it in S tier. I'll be honest, I love it now. I love it so much. Why? The custom night. I have unlocked the custom night and it is a whole new game for me and I love it so much now. I even go back and I replay the nights, like nights 1 through 5. Love it so much. Even night 4. I love night 4 now. There's something about the challenge of night 4 that, like, even though my heart is racing and I'm sweating out of everywhere, night 4 is now fun to me. I have evolved as a gamer. Love it so much. Gotta be real. Love the lore. Love Circus Baby as a villain. Love her as a character, obviously. The fun times are iconic. A lot of people don't like Sister Location, and I totally understand that, but I think it's made a resurgence lately. I feel like for the longest time, people hated on its Sister Location. Like, it was just like a assumed thing to hate on it. I used to be a part of that gang. I used to hate Sister Location. Like I said, a couple of months ago, I would have said that Sister Location has the least replayability out of all of the games. And nowadays, no, couldn't be further from the truth. Love Sister Location, especially after defeating Ennard. Again, very difficult night. Love doing it. Love going into like that like private office and like defeating Ennard. So good. So good. FNAF Sister Location is great, but Night 4 is so hard. Honestly, I'm not a fan, but I love all the characters in it. See, that's fair. I feel like that was me for the longest time. Like Circus Baby for the longest time has been my favorite character. And like watching people play Sister Location, like I love the story aspects. People making theories around Sister Location are like some of my favorite YouTube videos. We're at 5 minutes and Sister Location has a 45% S ranking, 38% for A, 13% for B, and F is at 5%. That means Sister Location is going in between FNAF 4 and FNAF 1, because FNAF 4 had like a 55% or something like that for S. With Sister Location at 45%, I'm gonna put it a little lower. And this is the so far the top 3 rankings. Now we're on to FNAF Pizzeria Simulator. Where are you guys ranking this? Because I'm a little bit indifferent. There are things about Pizzeria Simulator that I truly love so much, but there's also a lot of it that I'm like, I'm not a huge fan of it, but I don't know. So for me, I'm very much so in the middle. Like I'd put it either higher on the B tier or lower on A tier. I think it might deserve A tier, to be honest. I feel like Pizzeria Simulator deserves A tier. And it seems a lot of people are agreeing so far. But yeah, what do you guys think of it? I need to hear some other opinions though. I need to hear some other opinions about FNAF Pizzeria Simulator. Because like personally, I really enjoy the like decorating part of it, like the actual pizzeria like simulator part where I'm building my own pizzeria and playing little fun arcade games and picking out what I want to buy and go shopping. Like that is so girly pop. I love it so much. I don't have a good time with the night mode. I just cannot get used to it. I don't understand the audio cues. I need to do some research. I need to hire a coach. I need to talk to some other FNAF YouTubers and get some tips about how to defeat this freaking game. Soundtrack carries. Oh my god, the soundtrack of Pizzeria Simulator. Love it so much. The music in it and it is so incredible. Love it. S tier because Scrap Baby is much better than Circus Baby. See, everybody's got their opinions, Lucas. Everyone's got their opinions. The mediocre melodies. Yeah, come on, guys. We gotta vote higher up for the mediocre melodies. You're telling me you don't love Happy Frog? Come on now. Jar of Pickles is the best part of the game. See, in what other FNAF game do you get a jar of pickles? There's some other game with pickles, right? I mean, come on. I think that deserves A tier just based on that alone. It seems that we are putting FNAF Pizzeria Simulator in A tier. It is our first one going in A tier. Round of applause. Now we're on to Ultimate Custom Night. Custom nights in general, for the longest time, have not been something that I've enjoyed. Honestly, what's making me start to enjoy custom nights more is Sister Location, because I really enjoy that custom night. I haven't gone back to Ultimate Custom Night in a really long time, and I think that it's time that I do. So I definitely want to do a live stream in the near future, trying it again, because I just never was that interested in it before, you know? I just wasn't interested in custom nights. I don't like making my own game. I like having a very linear storyline with these games. Why would I choose to make it difficult for myself if I don't have to, you know? And so that's one of the many reasons that I haven't played a lot of Ultimate Custom Night. Based on my own experiences with it and my opinions of custom nights, I would put it either low B or high F, like personally. Yeah, and also there's so many like people that do a bunch of challenges with Ultimate Custom Night, you know? Like the, what is the 50-20 challenge? Like, are you kidding me? I cannot do that. I am not built for challenges, okay? Like, I am built to just be silly and enjoy the game. We're at 5 minutes, guys. Okay, A is the winner. We are putting it in A tier. The second place is S tier. So I think we're gonna, I can't remember what the rating was for Pizzeria Simulator. I can't remember if we need to put Ultimate Custom Night ahead of it or below it. Maybe we leave it like this. Pizza Sim had more, I think. Okay. We'll leave it like this then. We'll leave it like this. Now we're on to Help Wanted, the first Help Wanted game. okay? Not the second one. We're not there yet. We're doing just the first one. Honestly, I love this game so much. I think it deserves S tier. But I feel like you can just have so much more fun with Help Wanted games. And there's not a whole lot of pressure with like story or like uncovering stuff. Like you can truly just play it casually and you'll have just as much fun as if you're somebody who likes to hunt for lore and stuff like that. I'm very grateful for other people diving deep into the lore of Help Wanted so that I can just be a silly little goose and enjoy the game and have fun with it, you know, rather than trying to dissect things. The parts and service part of Help Wanted 1 is really fun in my opinion. Oh yeah, for sure, definitely. I haven't played it, but it looks fun. It's so much fun. It's so much fun. This is probably one of the games that I recommend the most to people, mostly because if you haven't played any of the previous games, Help Wanted has the first 3 games like built into it. The only problem is I get motion sickness. See, that's you and me both, honestly. I can't be in VR for very long because I will get motion sickness as well. But again, you can play it in the flat mode. You don't have to play it in VR. You can play it without the VR headset on and still have just as much fun, in my opinion. Help Wanted was epic. I love the VR aspect. Yeah, they did a good job of it. They definitely did a good job of it. I haven't played it, but I've seen others play it and it looks so fun. So S. Hell yeah, Maya. All right, we are done. I am gonna end the poll. S tier 1. And Help Wanted is going above FNAF 4 Sister Location and FNAF 1. So for this next one, we are doing Security Breach. I'm really curious to see where you guys put this because I know that people are very divided about Security Breach. Some people think that Security Breach is the best FNAF game and some people think that it is the worst FNAF game. So far, it is winning at S tier. Oh my god, 60% S tier in the first minute. Oh my goodness. I feel like I see so much hate online for Security Breach. It's refreshing to see how many people love it. Like, that's wild. I truly expected there to be more haters. I guess this is my chat. And we do love Security Breach around here. I think it's just such a different style FNAF game. I think that it's just such, you know, it's so out there compared to what we've had previously. You know, people had the same reaction to FNAF World too. People hated FNAF World. People still hate FNAF World. And we clearly do too, because look at where it placed. The lore just isn't as good in Security Breach in my opinion. I don't like the steel wool lore. Interesting. What is it about it that you don't like? It's so much point A, point B crap that doesn't go anywhere. Interesting. So we do have some Security Breach haters in the chat. Also, Vanny is a joke. Yeah, I mean, okay. I have to agree with you a little bit there. I love Vanny. I want more Vanny. I wish they did more with her. I wish that there was a lot more to do with her character in Security Breach. It felt like they were building to something with her, and then it just didn't pay off, in my opinion. Overall, I think Security Breach is such a fun game. It is my second favorite game overall. I think it deserves S tier. I don't think it deserves to be higher than FNAF 4 though, because FNAF 4 is my number 1. I don't hate the game, it's just not my style. Fair enough, you know? That's totally fair. What's your opinion on DJ Music Man? DJ Music Man is my 5th favorite animatronic in the entirety of the series. I love DJ Music Man. I don't like the endos. The endo level is tricky. Why do you hate Monty? I don't hate Monty. I dislike Monty. I just wish that there was more to him. Like, I also wasn't a huge fan of Roxy when Security Breach came out. But then after Ruin, I grew to really like Roxy, and now I really, really like Roxy as a character overall. However, they did not do the same for Monty. Monty didn't get any growth. He didn't get any, you know, story arc to him. All it is it's implied that he may be the one to have unalived Glamrock Bonnie. And I mean, if that ends up being true, if he actually did do that to Glamrock Bonnie, then I have every right to dislike him. Oh my god, Security Breach is at S tier with 64%, which means it is now ahead of Help Wanted, and Security Breach is definitively our number 1 game so far. That is wild. I truly was not expecting that. So I included Ruin as its own game instead of keeping it together with Security Breach, since it's, you know, Security Breach's DLC. I wanted it to stand on its own because I think there are a lot of people that really like Ruin and a lot of people that really don't like Ruin, so I really wanted to keep them separate because I think Ruin can stand on its own without being attached to Security Breach. I feel like it's a little bit overhyped. I think Ruin came out and people were refreshed to see a darker side of Security Breach, which, don't get me wrong, that's iconic. That being said, though, it definitely was lackluster for me. Ruin is A, because it can't be as good as Security Breach. I mean, yeah, I would agree with that. It's definitely not as good as Security Breach. No Music Man in Ruin. See, that is reason enough for me to dislike Ruin, because where the hell is DJ Music Man? They just tried to make Security Breach scary with Ruin, and that did not work out for them. The designs are too withered, and the mimic was obvious. Bro didn't sound like Gregory. Yeah, I don't think they were really trying to hide it that much. Personally, I didn't see it coming the first time I played it, the mimic twist. But I'm happy that they brought the mimic into the games. I will say that's something that I really enjoy about Ruin is the introduction of the mimic, because now it's kind of laid that foundation for, you know, what's to come, obviously, with, like, Secret of the Mimic, you know? Cassie gives off boss energy, but Gregory gives off Diary of a Wimpy Kid vibes, who mainly relies on Freddy. Oh my god. I didn't have to roast him so bad. Jeez. I think we're gonna put it here. We're gonna put it at the lower end of S. The fate has been decided by the chat. Now we've got Help Wanted 2, which is obviously a recent game, recently came out. I really enjoyed Help Wanted 2. I think it was so much fun. I think my favorite level in Help Wanted 2 would probably have to be the carousel, doing the merry-go-round with the Jacko Moon, and yeah, I think I really enjoyed that. I love the music in that area too. That music was fire. Oh my gosh. The music in a lot of Help Wanted 2 was fan-frickin-tastic. Like, love it so much. Yeah, and then I think I also really liked the DJ Music Man level. The Ballora Gallery part was so tricky, but I loved the introduction of the sister location levels. Obviously we didn't get that in Help Wanted 1, so having that in Help Wanted 2 was so cool. I don't know if I like it better than the first Help Wanted. I think I like them pretty well equally. I'm starting to remember all the games. The only games in Help Wanted 2 that I didn't like were the food related ones. I don't know what it is about it, but I just like didn't really enjoy the food prep ones where you're trying to make pizzas or you're trying to fulfill orders at like the theater or whatever it was. Like, not for me. Not for me. But everything else, loved it. I like the part where you had to style Roxy. See, that's a good choice too. That's a good choice too. My fave is Bonnie Bull. Bonnie Bull was a lot of fun. I really liked the sister location levels. They were creepy. Oh my gosh. I really want to play those ones again. Operating on Helpy. Yes, how could I forget? Oh my god. That was iconic. Having Helpy just screaming on the table while you're trying to hit him with a hammer. Anyways, it's at 65%. I can't remember what Security Breach was. Was Security Breach higher than 65%? I think this is where it goes for now, which means we're on to the last game. Now we are on to the last game, Into the Pit. Where are we putting it? Where are we putting Into the Pit? I have a feeling because it's new, people are going to give it a pretty high rating, which is fair. Honestly, Into the Pit was so much fun, and it was so refreshing. It was such a refreshing FNAF game. I loved the style of the game. Love the vibes of the game. The characters were amazing. I feel like me personally, I would put it probably in A tier. I don't think I would put it in S tier, because when I look at it compared to the games that we have in S tier, I personally would put it in A tier. But that being said, it is an iconic game. It is at S tier with 61, which means Into the Pit is going between Help Wanted 2 and Help Wanted on our tier list. And this is our tier list, you guys. Hell yeah. FNAF World is the only one that got F tier. That's crazy. You guys voted for this. This is your doing. This is not me. This is all you. This is all your fault, okay?